I turned my childhood magic hobby into a career, and these are the three rules that have helped me make that happen. So, number one is that I sought out the advice of people who have done it before me, okay? The magicians and mentalists who are working in the niches that I wanted to work in the corporate industry, the higher end industry. I sought out their advice as to how do I get those gigs? How do I get my marketing to where it should be to book these gigs? What types of tricks should I be performing? How should I structure my show? How should I make that happen? And once they gave me that advice, I followed it. I didn't listen to it and say, that sounds stupid, I'm going to do something else, because they are at the place that I'm trying to get to, and so they know a lot more than I do. So I followed I sought them out and I followed their advice. The second one is that I was totally okay with making less money now than I could have been working a traditional job. And I still feel like I'm kind of in this phase right now, being in my 20s, where if I applied all of this time and effort into a traditional career, I could be making a little bit more money than I am right now. And I'm totally okay with it because I'm having a blast. I'm making enough money and the trajectory is still going upward. So the third one is I am okay with magic not being my hobby anymore. And this really cuts to the idea that if you should follow your passions, and if you have a hobby, you should turn it into a job. I think that is terrible advice, primarily because you lose love for that hobby. When I sit down at the end of the day, I don't want to work on more magic tricks. I want to read. I want to play video games. I want to do stuff like that. I don't want to work on magic. The hobby itself has taken a back seat. Now, I'm totally fine with that because for me as a magician, the number one thing was I want to be a better performer. I want to have the audience love the magic tricks more and more and more. And the way to do that is to perform as much as I can. And the way to do that is to do this as a living, right? So if I was working a desk job and only performed a handful of times a year, I would not be as good of a performer. And for me, that was always the number one goal. So I am totally happy sacrificing the love that I have for this hobby to make myself a better performer and a better magician.